blood pressure isn't a condition, it's a symptom. Now, I know what you're thinking, a symptom of what? And no, it's not from eating too much salt. Salt is a scapegoat. The answer is insulin resistance. Up to 90% of people with chronic high blood pressure have insulin resistance, and a lot of them don't even know it. And for most people, when they take the correct steps to improve their insulin resistance, their blood pressure lowers as well. So let's talk about how to do this. Step number 1 is to stop snacking. The key to reversing insulin resistance and, as a result, bringing your high blood pressure down is to keep your insulin low as often as you can. And this ties in with snacking because every time we eat, insulin bumps up. So if you can eat less frequently, this is going to help significantly. Try to stick to 2 to 3 meals per day with no snacks in between. And if the thought of not snacking throughout the day seems absolutely unachievable, you might not be consuming enough protein at your meals. You should be getting in at least 30 grams of quality protein, that is animal protein, at every single meal. And trust me when I say that if you are someone who struggles with cravings and the urge to snack in between meals, this is an absolute game changer. Step number 2 is to be mindful of carbohydrates. As we spoke about with step 1, being mindful of your carbohydrate intake is also going to help you to keep your insulin low. A 2019 study looked at the effect a low carbohydrate diet had on blood pressure. Participants made this diet change for between 10 and 32 months. They saw significant improvements to blood pressure and over a 20% deprescription of hypertension drugs. The reason being mindful of your carbohydrate consumption helps is because carbohydrates are the macronutrient that requires the most insulin to process. So by reducing carbohydrates, or at least being mindful of them, you reduce your need for insulin. And this doesn't have to be drastic. For most people, just sticking to under 100 grams per day, that's enough to see improvements. If you want to see faster improvements to your blood pressure, then try to stick to under 50 grams per day. Step number 3 is to take vinegar before your meals. Now, this step is especially helpful if you are not able to follow the previous step and be mindful about your carbs. If you know you're going to eat a meal with more carbohydrates in it, then this is a really great hack. All you have to do is take 1 tablespoon of vinegar diluted in water before you eat that meal. Most people choose apple cider vinegar just because it tends to be the best tasting out of the bunch, but any vinegar will work. And because I know I'm gonna get this question, capsules and gummies, not as effective. Stick to the liquid for best results. The reason this hack works and helps to control blood sugar better, improve insulin resistance, and as a result, lower high blood pressure is because it allows our cells to take in more glucose. When our cells are able to take in glucose more readily, less insulin is needed. To demonstrate just how effective vinegar is, one study had participants take 1.5 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar 2 minutes before a high-carb meal that included a bagel and orange juice. The other group ate the same meal but didn't take any vinegar or anything else beforehand. They found that the group that consumed the apple cider vinegar were up to 34% more insulin sensitive an hour after eating compared to the other group. And finally, step number 4 is to eat more salt. And I'm sure this step will surprise most people. But I mention this because low sodium diets can actually increase blood pressure. When sodium is low in the body, the hormone renin is released by the kidneys. The role of this hormone is literally to increase blood pressure. When renin decreases due to us getting enough sodium to meet our needs through our diet, then blood pressure lowers as well. Dr. James DiNicolantonio, who is a cardiovascular researcher, says that most people require between 3,000 and 6,000 milligrams of sodium per day. Now, of course, you don't want to be getting this sodium through processed food, which is where most people are getting their sodium from, but rather you want to be meeting your sodium needs through a high-quality electrolyte supplement. My personal favorite that I use and recommend to clients is Sodi's Everyday Hydration Salts. Per serve, they contain 1 gram of sodium and also 210 milligrams of potassium and 70 milligrams of magnesium, giving you the perfect balance of electrolytes for everyday use. And all this without containing any sugar or artificial ingredients. Not to mention, they taste absolutely delicious. If you're gonna try any, I highly recommend the salty pineapple. If you want to check them out, I'm going to put the link in the description box down below, and make sure to use code KATE15 to save 15% off your order. Anyways guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know in the comment section down below if you currently have high blood pressure or if you have in the past. Are you on medication for it? Are there any diet or lifestyle changes that you've done that you've seen have made a difference? I love hearing from you guys and hearing your experience, so let me know down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.